Shalom Royalty and Rainicorns. So the title of this video is There's Another Shift Happening That Will Impact Everyone. So I don't know if everybody remembers, but I mean everything was weird and different this time last year. Nothing has been the same ever since 2020. The thing is, there's another situation that is happening that will affect everybody. I don't know if it's a whole shutdown, or if it's gonna be, you know, something as dramatic as a pandemic, but there is something that's greatly impacting everyone. So speaking of the pandemic, everyone knows that the Tanzanian president and the Haitian president have both been, they got them. And if you're also paying attention to, hip hop, or I don't want to say mainstream media, but entertainment media, you have a bunch of rappers who are getting killed. They are being put in jail, a lot of things like that. And it's like, well, just individuals are doing their own things in their own lives. What does that have to do with everybody else? Let me get to that. Okay, so why does any of this matter? I had a discussion with somebody earlier today, and we were talking about how African Americans, black people in America, influence world culture. If you just want to be real about it, can we get feelings out the way? This isn't about race or people being in a particular way. Let's just look at facts. We have people over here who listen to K-pop, listen to J-pop. They watch Indian films, or the main influence that other places have had in our country is anime, certain video games, of course technology and stuff. But when it comes to culture and how people act, how people are entertained, and how people have swag, that word period in general, you can go around the world and see how the African American, the black American culture has impacted the entire globe that, is connected to, whether it's be internet or mainstream media, the news, pop culture, stuff like that. You can go to pretty much any country in the world that has had television connection within the past 10 years and say Michael Jackson. Everybody knows who you're talking about. You could say Whitney Houston. Everybody knows who you're talking about. You could even say Halle Berry. People know who you're talking about. Oprah. You know who we're talking about. And so, what does all that have to do with each other, with the presidents and the rappers, and then African American influence, if we're gonna call it that? Because I recognize us as Israel, so if I want to say something, I'm going to say Israelite Americans. But people don't understand that concept, so that's why I just stick with, just like Jesus. I don't say Jesus when I pray, but I say Jesus when I speak to you guys, because that's what people understand him as. That's what people grew up calling him. I say Yeshua, but that'll throw people off sometimes, so that's same thing with black or African American, Israelite American. It's just like that. So anyway, with those things happening, you have to remember Malcolm X was assassinated first, and then Martin Luther King was assassinated for doing things that are good for black people. You have these two nations' presidents be cut off because they were doing something good for their people. Despite what you may feel about, the pandemic and everything, these presidents wanted to make sure that their people had a choice and that things wouldn't be forced on them. They wanted their people to still have a sense of individuality and not feel like something was being shoved down their throats. America was not okay with that. So whether it was America specifically or it was other nations who were heavily influenced by America, because who isn't heavily influenced by America besides Europe? You got to look at it. People are saying that the Clintons are connected to what happened to the president of Haiti. And I'm not here to confirm whether that's true or not. I'm just saying the fact that that's even being speculated. They're not even in president office anymore. So why is their name being brought up? I saw a clip on TikTok with Hillary being questioned about something. And the thing is, she did a similar cackle to somebody who's in office right now. And I'm like, maybe that's where she got that laugh from when being asked a serious question. You know, how are things going at the border? Well, things are going at the border. We were left with a lot. I'll slap you. But you got, what was it, like over 100,000 illegal immigrants came on purpose, because it wasn't just like, oh, Trump's out of office, we're gonna go to America now. No, they were running ads and campaigns for people to come to America. And then all of a sudden recently you want to get on camera and tell the news, don't come, like, you make me want to throw hands. And that's not like the way we're supposed to handle things, but we're talking about thousands of people, not even including, like, you know, the drug trades that were going on, the child trafficking, the woman trafficking, the kids trafficking, people trafficking. Let's include our males, because I had a conversation with somebody earlier today too. They said they get sexually harassed at work, but he don't even report it, because what a 30-year-old dude looking like reporting some females for sexually harassing him. Nothing's fair at all. At all. So there's a lot going on, you know, when we're talking about mainstream and, you know, people dying on camera. How are people dying on camera and the shooter gets away? Like, is no one, like, paying attention to what's happening? Because this isn't, like I said in my video yesterday, this isn't like third eye esoteric, you gotta see in the spirit. You can see this. You can see all of this with your eyes. You can hear all of it with your regular ears. You know, God doesn't have to come to you in a dream to tell you what's happening. He does reveal a lot of things for a lot of us in our dreams, and, you know, in different visions, or when we're just praying and having conversations with him. But this ain't it. This is just something you turn on your TV, look at your phone, hear on the radio what's going on. So, with what's happening right now, I don't know if you guys have heard the song Spar by Dreezy, Kodak Black, and Black. Their time is up. Their time is up. Wow, that's ironic. Hi, 20th Anunnaki. Yo, that's one of the synchronicities right there, bruh. Because it's like, I literally just said their time is up. And certain people are finna rise. I'm just gonna leave it at that, because your IG name says everything that I needed to say. Because it's like, you know, whether we go by Anunnaki, whether we go by Children of Abraham, whether we go by the true Children of the Motherland, anything like that, the shift is happening. And I apologize for the train, y'all. And, like, when you think about, like, how serious, like, right? When you think about, like, how serious everything is, like, they out here, this is not civil rights leaders, they out here assassinating presidents, bro. Like, in the same year, the Tanzanian president and the Haitian president were assassinated in the same year for the exact same thing. And then we got rappers over here dying on camera without the shooter getting caught. So, like, obviously there's an issue going on with our people. It's not an issue with our people. It's an issue against our people. And so all these narratives are playing out, all these things are happening, everything is just coming out, basically, because at this point they can't even let people be people. They're like, no, we can't even risk this person saying anything, we can't even risk this person doing this, we can't risk it. And at the same time they're telling on themselves, because it's not even like slick anymore. It's not like, oh, this happened in their sleep. Oh, what's his name? John McAfee. He had a black wife. John McAfee had a black wife, and he was going up against the government. And she said that she's gonna file an investigation for his death, because obviously he didn't commit suicide. Like, if you believe that all these people committed suicide and they have dirt on, I'll just say the elites, the higher ups, they have dirt on the higher ups, and they just committed suicide. Listen, coming from a previously suicidal person, that shit don't make you want to commit suicide. That shit makes you want to die for the cause. So that's what he did. He died for the cause. Everybody died for the cause. Nobody will want to take their own life away when they know that they have to help other people because they know what's actually going on. Being suicidal is your own personal issues, is just too much, and you don't want to deal with your own personal issues anymore. When you're carrying other people's issues, especially as a higher up, you talk about John McAfee, he's a billionaire. You're talking about presidents of countries. They are, whether they may not be billionaires or even millionaires, but they're leaders of nations. You got rappers who have influence over millions of people. These folks ain't just off in themselves. There is something going on. And I know this obviously. And a lot of other, people who are woke, if we're going to use that term woke, they already know this information. But a lot of people who, they're trying, they're in the system, they're in the matrix, they're trying to, do things the right way. Whether it be, going to college and getting a 9-to-5 job, or even getting a trade, doing things that are just very basic, what we've been trained to do as far as living. They're trying to do those things and it's not working, and they don't know why it's not working. That's the thing where it's like, I'm doing this, and why can't I get to where I want to go? It's because you're not meant to get to where you want to go using that system. You have to shift out of it. And that's the thing. It's going to happen so suddenly and so drastically that people won't even know what happened. So I was talking to, I was having a deep conversation with somebody earlier. They're talking about how they think we're in a real estate bubble, right? It's not just real estate. We're in a bubble, period. Anything that you could consider finance or, business-wise, a lot of things don't make sense. I even called out President 45 on this on Twitter when he was able to be on Twitter. He was talking about how the stock market is doing so well. I was like, y'all know y'all pump the stock market with like fake dollars, right? The only companies you can even count on for being, accurate at some points is the top ones in the S&P 500. Like we're talking about Walmart, we're talking about Amazon, we're talking about, AT&T, we talk about Xfinity, T-Mobile, just companies that aren't going anywhere, because we need our Wi-Fi, we need our items that we use on a day-to-day basis. They're not going anywhere if we're gonna just be straight up and honest. No matter how many boycotts you try to do with Amazon, it's not going to work. No matter how much you try to just do certain things, it's just not going to work, simply because of the way that the culture has already been shaped and molded. And so the thing is, a bubble has to pop. You can't just have a bubble forever. That's what they're trying to do, and it's very unrealistic, but that's what they're trying to do. And they're hiding a lot of things from everybody because they don't want anyone to know that it's a bubble. They want you to think that we're sitting on a firm, solid foundation, and that everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. You just get your shot. Everything's going to go back to normal. So why is there a variant? And why have coronaviruses been studied for the past decade? Explain that one to me. How have they been studied for the past decade? We have a pandemic, and then a shot is being issued, and now we have another variant of it that's supposed to be stronger, and that won't be prevented with the current shot that's being given out. Nothing makes sense the same way it didn't last year when this first started. And what people don't know is that this didn't start in 2020. It started a long time ago. But as far as like, the stock market and like different things going on, 2019. It was August, September time, 2019, when things started to become shaky. I know this because I follow finance news, and people have been talking about this for a while. They already saw that things were going to come to an end. Real estate prices have been going up for a long time. Just think 2008 recession times maybe 3 at the very least. Because then you have to factor in all the money that's been pumped into the system artificially. And honestly, fraudulently in a lot of cases. Not even including the fraud that people were doing independently, like, scamming for PPP loans and stuff. So, you factor all that in. We can't just stay how we do it. Like, are people thinking? Like, it baffles me too. I do real estate and stuff, y'all know. It baffles me when people are really delusional, thinking that like the market's just gonna stay hot the way that it is. California is not going to be how California currently is for much longer. I only have hope for people are moving out of New York, but New York is, the way that their real estate is set up and the way that their business structure, like Wall Street is in New York. California has Hollywood and like vacation places and like luxury, so it's a little different, but New York has like that money mindset. So no matter what, New York's gonna bounce back. California is literally on fire all the time. I don't know how they're gonna bounce back like that and keep doing what they were doing. New York, I feel like they could sustain how they're living for a while, whether you find it to be ethical or not. But places like in the South or mid US, I'm talking about the United States. If you're watching me from a different country, I don't know much about you. But places like in the middle of the country, that's really where it makes the most sense for real estate to continue like staying stable, because these property values going up and up and up and up and up, it doesn't make any logical sense for it to continue this way when people are still jobless by both choice and not by choice. You still have people getting tons of unemployment, because it's like, I know somebody recently, they just dropped their job, got some unemployment, and they're finna go back to work soon because their unemployment ran out. Like, that's what people are doing right now. It's not like, I'm gonna stay consistent on my job and just work my job and, be financially literate with my income. It's, well, people are getting more money with unemployment. Okay, I'm gonna apply for unemployment. Like, if you're gonna do that, have a plan. Not, oh, I don't want to work and make less money. I want to not do anything and make money, and then when it runs out, then I go get another job. That's still the rat race. You just found a bunch of cheese at one point and was able to sit on that cheese. Now you got to find more cheese. But you should have put a good amount of the cheese that you found, at least put it into a savings of some sort, an emergency fund. Like, at the very least, do that. But no. People just want the money. People want to spend it up. It is what it is. But like, for anyone who does decide to do that, let me just advise you. Save up at least 3 months worth of your expenses. And after that, invest in something, whether it's stocks, whether it's cryptocurrency. If you have enough money, buy a real estate property and rent it out. Because you're able to get loans depending on how much money you can put down and stuff like that. I know one person not one person, but like combined in a household, some people got like $21,000. And so, who called me? Oh, scam likely. Okay. So, 20K, 20 racks, that's you can do a lot with that, especially in real estate. And so you get that, get a loan, put a tenant in the property, and there you go. You got rent checks coming every month. It's as simple as that, honestly. But yeah, I'm just letting you know, like, bro, stuff's not gonna be the same. It's never going back to how it was before. It can be seen as unfortunate, but I think it's a good thing. I don't think God wanted us to be in that cycle of insanity for so long and not have anything happen to at least wake us up and get us out of that mode. Because people were just going through the rat race their entire life. Some people were hamsters, just on a hamster wheel, not even going anywhere. And so now, with everything going on the way that it is, people are able to open their eyes and be like, okay, I don't want to be in this race anymore. I'm going to just join my own marathon, or I'm not even going to be running at all. I'm going to chill. I'm going to go buy a car. Like, I'm going to go get a yacht. I'm going to go get a private jet. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm not going to run and use all my energy for somebody else anymore. I'm doing for me. I'm working for me. I'm doing what I got to do for myself. And that's the attitude you got to have right now. This whole, I don't know when they're going to open back up and, pay us livable wages. What's a livable wage? What actually is a livable wage? You got this whole high value narrative being spun where 6 figures is the only income you should be looking at. And it's like, realistically speaking, for the average person to be able to make 6 figures, they have to have a side hustle. 6-figure jobs are not common, even with college degrees. Because are you even certified in that field? Are you experienced and know what to do in order to make 6 figures? People really have to just what do you bring to the table as a human being to make 6 figures at someone else's company? Are you valuable to their business for them to pay you $100,000 or more each year? You shouldn't just feel like you're entitled to make that amount of money, whether you're male or female. Like, this stuff doesn't make any sense. You're trying to make 6 figures. You need to figure out, okay, I need to make this many sales, or okay, I need to close this many deals, or okay, I need to do this many trades. Not, my job needs to give me a raise. I don't care how long you've been there. If you haven't been valuable to their business besides what you've been doing, they really don't owe you a huge raise. Because I used to think it was unfair. It's like, oh, they've been working there for so long, that $1, that $2, that $5 an hour raise, that's not fair. Then I thought about it, being a business owner, time alone, it doesn't make you more valuable. If your skills haven't improved, if your skill set hasn't increased, if your productivity hasn't excelled what you usually do, there's no reason for anyone to pay you anything more. So why expect 6 figures from your job when you don't even have a 6-figure mindset? And people really don't even understand what it's like to make 6 figures, because even if they do make 6 figures, let's look at doctors and lawyers, right? Doctors and lawyers still be broke. How do I know? Because then when they realize they're broke, they acquire real estate properties. And so a lot of times they are what are referred to as cash buyer investors. So they realize their situation, they save up some money, and they're like, okay, I need to buy a property that I can rent out to tenants. Then they contact people like me and they'll be like, hey, do you have some properties for sale? And I'm like, okay, yeah, I do. Here you go. And that's how I make my money. And so I closed 10 of them deals, making $10,000 each. That's 6 figures. I just helped 10 different investors. Or just close 10 different deals, because it could be the same person doing 10 different deals. So it's one person I'm serving 10 different times, right? I made 6 figures. I helped somebody have a home. Whoever's renting their property, they now have a home. So that's awesome, providing shelter for people. Whoever I got the property from, I relieved them of an issue they were dealing with, because obviously if they needed to sell the house at that time that they did and without a realtor, then I helped them in their situation, and I helped the investor build their portfolio and create more passive income for themselves. I feel like that's 6-figure worthy. But if you're sitting at an office desk and you're just answering phone calls and you're putting people with other people, you're not providing the solution to the issue, why should someone pay you 6 figures? That's why, like, this whole high value narrative thing. Are you a high value person? Do you bring high value to the market? So that's part of the shift that's going on. People are going to realize their worth and apply it to the market. So like farmers, right? I was watching, I don't know if it was a documentary or what happened. This farmer said he grossed like $1 million and he only took home maybe $300,000. I'm like, hold on. You telling me you made $1 million and you only took home 30% of your income? I don't even care. I don't even care that that's 6 figures. You're not going to tell me that I'm going to take home 30% of my income. That doesn't make any sense. So that's where like financial literacy comes in. He had a terrible CPA. Whoever it was, they weren't doing him right. He had a terrible financial advisor, terrible money management skills. Not, they probably didn't know, because all they're doing is farming. So they probably didn't know that they needed to do certain things. But, nah, I'm not finna make $1 million and give everybody else $700,000. Nah. No, thank you. Unless I got like, a bunch of employees, but that's different. My company has to make $1 million. And then I can take home 300, and then, different people get paid different salaries and stuff. That's different. That's understandable. But if I'm operating alone and all these expenses are being taken out, like, nah, no thank you. So, yeah, that's, we got a wealth shift, and also like the spiritual shift is already happening. If you didn't know, you should. Everybody got crazy stuff going on in their lives right now. It's not for no reason. This stuff is happening, whether it's intentionally being caused onto us, like a lot of things are, or it's just things happening around you. Spiritual warfare has been high. It's been high for 1.5 years. Really 2 years, but people know 1.5 years. So, things are about to manifest into the physical now. More. In a lot of good ways. But the thing is, like, you have to be in the vibration of receiving the good that comes out of this situation. A lot of good stuff happened for people last year, but they had to be in that wealth vibration. A lot of bad stuff happened to people last year. They were in the poverty vibration, and that's the sad thing about it. You have to make your mind ready to receive what's about to come to us. And so, yeah, that's really all I wanted to say. I'm just like, are you ready? Like, are you ready? Do you have something to offer? Do you have something to share? Do you have anything that makes you happy that you think will make other people happy? Do you want to bless somebody else's life in some sort of way? How is God going to be able to work through you to help his people? We have a lot of talented individuals who are coming out with new art. And that's valuable. While people want to downplay artists, just because they're not doing physical labor, it's still a lot of work, and people are still happy. It makes people happy. People who do sports, no matter what people say about it, people even enjoy, like, whether you like to watch football and basketball, people like to play football and basketball. Hey, how you doing? And so, you know, whether you find that to be a talent or not, or you find it valuable to the marketplace or not, sports bring in some of the most money in the entire world. The Olympics, it's just a big sports ring. It brings in so much money worldwide. So the people who participate, they provide entertainment and a service for the people who are watching. I'm good. That's good. Glad you're doing good. And so, yeah, you know, are you ready for what's happening? Are you ready for, you know, really the blessings that are going to be poured out? Because I'm just like, yo, people don't even know, because everybody's still like depressed and feeling like this lingering negative energy and stuff. And I'm like, bro, you got to get yourself out of that vibration, bro. You got to raise your frequency, my guy, because like it's finna pour down harder than anyone ever would have saw coming, especially with everything going on. It's like, oh, we can only expect misery and sadness. Nah, it's gonna be so much good stuff happening for the next 6 months, bro. It's gonna be wild. I mean, if I have dreams or visions about specific things that God wants me to share with you guys, I'll definitely let y'all know. But I just gotta give y'all like a preface, like a, you know, just like a preview of what's happening. Like, if you're making, let's just say your salary, like, I don't know, $25,000 a year, right? Realistically expect for that to double. You could go from 25K to 50K within a year. It may not be what you're already doing. It could be going into an entirely different field. It could be you starting a side hustle. It could even be you getting a new job. You know, there's nothing against jobs. Entrepreneurs still need people to work jobs. That's never been I don't see what people don't understand about that. Like, that's a whole different video. That's a whole different topic. But anyway, getting a really, really good job that could double your income, stuff like that realistically is happening. Do y'all know how many people have been grinding and working to create opportunities for people all last year? Plenty of people have been grinding and making it to where people can, whether it's like educate themselves in a new field, build up businesses so people can, you know, be hired into their company so they can provide them with good jobs and provide good services for their customers. Like, stuff like that was going on all last year. And so now we're in the phase of people basically like being like, so this is what I've been working on. That's what we're finna hit. That's what we're going to right now. So, and I can tell you that, you know, like, firsthand. Honestly, I can tell you that firsthand. I'm not finna tell you too much, though. Y'all already know a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and close out this video, though. So, I'm gonna show you guys. I did this tweet the other day. The world is shifting. Hey, Dad.
Hey, sweetie. I was gonna get that truck. I was needing to do some things, so.
Okay.
I got the key.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. I was just letting you know.
Okay.
I'll bring it back, but I'm gonna have a ladder on top like I did last.
Okay.
I'm gonna use it in the morning.
All right. The world is shifting. If you want to get into the real estate investing field, I can help you with that. Check out at Bird Dog Real Estate on Instagram. And we have our new website coming out. If you want to visit the website directly, it's birddogrealestate.wixsite.com/BDRE. birddogrealestate.wixsite.com/BDRE. And that's to get into the industry. If you're trying to make 6 figures, then this would be for you. Okay. Let me read this for you guys. Make 6 figures in your RAI wholesale business. Learn to properly structure your business and Bird Dog team with our course and mastermind group. And so, yeah, make sure you visit at Bird Dog Real Estate on Instagram. We are also on YouTube and Facebook. Our Facebook group is about to hit 13,000 members, so you can join the community if you want to. I see 333 on the clock right now. Ooh, snap. And so, yeah, that's what it is. That's what we're doing. If you want to make some high value money, get into a high value field, become a high value person. It has nothing to do with your relationship. It has absolutely nothing to do with your relationship. Understand that one, okay? So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you're ready. God bless all of you. Shalom royalty. I'll see you in the next one. Tawada. Bye bye, Rainicorns.